So this is going to be a just an overview of a plumb line scribe. There's way better instruction than what I'm going to be able to present. Just quickly, Plumb Bobs. This is Tim Whitehouse bob that's mentioned in the article. It's a lead-based weight. This is just a simple little pointed one, and this is a quick on the go made up one that works. I mean, all the plumb and level is derived from the periodic table, Latin, I guess, of lead being plumb bum, and plumb bum lead. You use a lead weight because it's easily made, poured, cast, and whatnot, compared to any other metals. So lead is the base of why we have plumb and level, and why you have a plumber, because of the string line that is always true. That string, once it stops wiggling, that won't lie to you at all. That's going to be exactly vertical. Little trick they've mentioned is you could put that, if you're outside, you could put that in a bucket of water, and that'll keep it from moving around. Never really tried it, but it makes sense that the fluid action would really dampen it. It's tricky to get them to stop swinging. Use your foot, use your dividers, use your straight edge, whatever, all kinds of methods. We'll go over that a little more. Just a quick overview. This is my concrete floor. I will do some basic measurements, spray paint an area with just a marking paint. It dries pretty quick, except if it's really cold like it is. But it still dries eventually. And then there's snap lines, an inner and an outer one. The inner one is typically the actual edge of the timber, or represents the theoretical edge of the timber. And then the outer one is 1.5 inches or 2 inches away, whatever you dictate. So you use some geometry and full-size loft out, lay out your whole structure. So that's the peak. There's a center point for a king post, actually. There's a corner for where a post and tie and rafters all come together. We also have dictated at the foot a floor level, and this post extends into the floor system. So we have a given point that will then go further along, be cut off. When you scribe in full size, one of the complications is material handling. It's one thing to handle a simple 8-foot 8x8 or something smaller or a little bigger, but when you get into 16-foot pieces, be it softwood or hardwood, they're very heavy to handle, and that gets complicated. So a lot of shops will have an overhead crane system, I-beams and rollers, and a come along or pulley or a wench of some sort to handle stuff. My unit is to reach out with a tilt rotator on the end of the excavator and a set of forks. You can just hang a strap off a fork and pick something up. I have plenty of reach, and in my shop I have aircraft hangar doors on either end. This door here is malfunctioned right now, so I've got to fix that, but I could come in from either end and move pieces around. So I have full access to just about any size building I would want. The restriction is that my building's only 30 by 60, and then I have stuff. It's just, yeah, like that right there. But you can't throw some of that stuff away too soon. That's a done pile. Again, a tilt rotator on the end of an excavator. I can lift, did it lift that? Well, I can almost move that pile with this machine. I can move it around enough in here to shuffle blocking, but if I took 2 timber off the top, it would go really well. I could handle that all over the place. So these are some, this is an old one. June 2005, number 76. This is 2010, and that's the start. This 2010 is Plumb Lime Scribe. Glenn Dodge, Will Truax, Tim Whitehouse. He's the guy that made the Plumb Bobs. Credit goes to them. And this is a very detailed article in both of these issues. So it was this one and this one is the part series for that. Another one is just elementary building geometry, March 2011. And then there's another one in here that I haven't gone through all over, but this is a kind of a hybrid system, and that's in more recent 2019. Yeah, and I mentioned that this one is an early one that has another variation. June 2005. I hear that Will Truax is considering putting together a more detailed or compilation of information that covers this Plumb Line Scribe, PLS. That would be very handy to see in a standalone publication of some sort. All of these back issues of Timber Framing are well worth becoming a member and logging into. A lot of them I think are on PDFs. Yeah, PFDs. With a video off my phone and crummy lighting and whatnot, this isn't the best way to see this. Just reading about it will give you almost as much or better idea of how this works. But the string, first of all, there's lines snapped on here. We have feather marks, and you true all this stuff up based off your lines here, measuring the distance of this line to your outer line here, with a level in this manner, and then a straight edge to measure from here to the edge with your level with not two bubbles in it. So you level this, measure the edge, kick the timber in and out, do it multiple times until everything is right, because if we move one end, the other end is going to move. We find on angles it's nice to snug the string right in tight and make all of your exceptions to twisted or turny timber. These are pretty straight, relatively new sawn timber, so we get less variations here than you do in some old piece of hardwood that's all twisted up, or even a spruce or whatnot. And the other method is on a 90-degree piece, that you hold it off to the side and compare one bottom edge and the top edge and mark correspondingly. And then you do the top edge to here, and then you do the bottom edge to the bottom. All described in literature. There's a lot more to it. There's 2-foot marks that we've applied in some places, and other places we haven't, but should be something that's applied everywhere. So you put a mark. I think I have one down here. Yeah. So this is the floor level, and it's based off this line that's put on here. This is 2 inches, and this would be 2 inches from a given end. If this is 2 inches, then it's 2 feet off the floor. I should have another circle down on the floor there, but I don't have that. This is a simple frame. We didn't do a lot. It's not fully scribed. It's only partial frame anyway. So here's an idea. You got your 2-foot mark there, 2-foot mark on your timber. These pieces can be shuffled in layout. If you have to roll it on its side, you would roll this over to the side and then put your level on this and level it off the side. And then you could expose another edge in an upright layout system. You can also tilt pieces. If you've got top plates and pitches to roofs, you can tilt them to a certain degree. Lots of tricks in blocking and shimming. There are little leveling wedges that go in there that you can turn and adjust just finely. They do a really nice job. Never used them. I've always just used shims. That works for if you're on a budget. Dividers. Even some at the ends turned out. There's a pair with the ends just slightly turned out so you can get right in tight to places. Like these. Nice easy roller adjuster. Those are easy to use. Anytime you got old junk squares kicking around, these are great to just cut to shorter sections for using for straight edges and for measuring off your levels. You can't have too many levels. When you set up a timber on the side, you measure off this snap line down here, and we put that on and put a clamp across the timber and hold it in position, and then you just place a level here. So this is when you use your level. When you're laying out your feather mark and snapping your lines, you're just eyeballing from one end at your joinery to the other end at your joinery and to about the middle. So you're taking the wind or twist out of the timber by eye. Give a short picture of that. So you put a straight edge across here, and on the other end, this is all in the book. You'd sight across. You see it across this to the level, and shim this up or down, or plane this across to get a 2-inch mark. You mark it here, and you mark it down there, and underneath you can mark all 4 sides or 8 lines just from this one position.